episode is stoking the flames of what's to come. Michael's still suing Candace, and Ashley says,
"Quite frankly, that is not my fish to fry."
And we're learning that Wendy knows of Nneka, but seems to have forgotten when she actually met the Potomac newbie. Let's talk about it on this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. So we start off the episode with Ashley and her mom going flower shopping. She is loving her house that Michael paid for. Ashley is having a housewarming party and she goes through the list of people she's going to invite. Candace is not on the list. She says they don't have a relationship. Since Ashley and Michael went on a family trip together to the Bahamas, Ashley's mom asked her if she was able to get more details on the $2 million lawsuit Michael is bringing against Candace. Ashley says it isn't her fish to fry. Michael hasn't talked to her about it and she's staying out of it, but she does think that Candace was reckless with her accusations, and apparently what Candace said affected Michael's business. So it looks like Ashley and Candace are forever on bad terms, and that's nothing new for this season. Mia invites Karen to go for a walk and chat. Last season, Mia jumped on the Blue Eyes bandwagon and said that she heard rumors of Karen cheating on Ray in a bathroom in Vegas. Mia was insistent that she didn't actually say the rumor. She just said someone told her about it. Okay, Mia, you knew what you were doing by repeating the details on camera. Karen says she would like them to have some boundaries. Mia shouldn't bring up rumors as facts, and she also won't have to worry about Karen disrespecting her marriage to Gordon either. Mia brings up the fact that she isn't drinking anymore. Well,
I don't drink anymore. I do drink wine.
Oh, okay,
I do drink wine because you can get it at the grocery store, so it's nutritional, right?
Good.
She says that she was going through a lot and she tries to explain some of her behavior away, saying she should not have been drinking because of the medication she was on. There's always an excuse with Mia. Anyway, Karen is okay with them moving forward, so that's laid to rest. In the next scene, Candace meets with her manager and we get a bit of insight into her music career. Her manager talks about having a special guest at her show in Chicago and names Drew Sidora from The Real Housewives of Atlanta as a contender. Drew was a special guest at Candace's Atlanta show and they featured it on RHOA, but it was a flop. Drew barely sang. It was weird because Drew actually has a beautiful voice, but she didn't do much with the guest spot. So Candace throws her shade and asks if Drew was the only option for a special guest and says that the girl she had previously opened for her in Chicago would be a better option. Okay, on Twitter, Candace tried to make it seem like editing made the scene come off differently than the actual conversation, but I watched it over again. It still seems shady. The scenes so far with Candace have been kind of on the smaller scale, but I like to see what the housewives are up to besides the infighting within the group. Robyn talks to Juan about the intervention that the ladies had with her. She asks Juan why he would still go to the laundromat while the fire was still hot. She also tells Juan that Giselle said that he's making her look bad and doesn't seem to care. Juan confirms this.
I don't care.
He is mad that he can't live his life because he has a small circle that he deals with. This whole scene was weird. I can't tell if Juan is actually like this or this is terrible acting. The smiling in the weird moments, the way he was raising his voice, I don't know, something is just off. They both seem so phony. I know there was criticism that Robyn wasn't sharing a lot of what happened in her real life last season, but these scenes between her and Juan are just awkward and forced. They annoy me. we get our first scene with Nneka and her husband. Nneka is rich and her husband is successful. He's an internal medicine physician, and I like their little back and forth banter about the bathtub.
But I want
I
like
can
a
just
nice...
sit in my little tub in peace.
You don't take baths. What tub are you talking about?
This is the first time I want to do it.
Okay, now that you moved to Potomac, you want to take baths?
Yes, please.
Okay,
I want to sit down in there and just do what people do in those tubs.
You know, I never...
They own multiple properties in the US and Nigeria. She flexes her zip code because she lives in Potomac proper, unlike multiple of the other women. She seems bougie, but seems to have the wealth to back it up. She mentions generational wealth, so I'm guessing she grew up not lacking anything. I'm not annoyed by the arrogance yet, but there's a fine line to that. Karen walks that line well. Nneka may cross it, but I'll give her a chance and see how she does. Okay, Wendy's starting a talk show. What? Wendy always has some new business venture that she's starting on top of her other many jobs. This continues the line of projects she starts at the beginning of the season to add to her multi-hyphenate duties. She's a professor, a political commentator, she owns a candle line. What happened to the Nigerian lounge? I wonder if there will be more to her storyline than this. Oh, right. She and Nneka are gonna get into it. Karen invites Giselle, Ashley, and Mia to a Pilates class because she has a 5% buildup of calcium in her carotid artery. Okay, Karen is so not serious. She's also calling her 60th birthday the triple 20. Karen looks amazing for her age, and she seems to embrace aging, but doesn't always call the number what it is. Remember her birthday last year? She wasn't calling it 59, she called it the 59. After the workout, Karen fills in Ashley and Giselle on her and Mia not bringing up rumors to the group and only facts. Giselle then asks Karen if she's going to apologize to Robyn about the blonde woman in Georgetown rumors. Karen agrees that she can give Robyn grace and offer an apology, but of course, Karen still throws in some shade.
Are you going to apologize to Robyn? Is Grace getting an
I
apology?
do believe that there's some truth to it.
That was a rumor.
Listen, I don't know about international. I know about domestic. But Robyn...
So clearly her and Robyn are still on the outs as well. We're also introduced to Ashley's new friends. And so it begins. The plastic surgery alterations are beginning. I hope she doesn't go overboard. Dr. Wendy's transformation was great and just enough. Sometimes when I see clips from her first season, I think, oh, that's what she looked like? Wendy didn't look bad, but she definitely looked different. We end the episode with Ashley's housewarming party. When Wendy shows up, it looks like she and Ashley are on good terms, or else she wouldn't have gotten an invite. Wendy then goes to hug Karen hello. Giselle was standing next to Karen and physically takes a step away when Wendy goes in for the hug. Then, Wendy kind of looks at the other ladies but doesn't greet them. Charisse forces her to greet her. These hellos are painful. Honestly, I don't think I could spend my time around people I dislike to the point of not being able to say hello. The constant conflict would just raise my blood pressure. They do a house tour, and when they're done, Sesame Street enters the building. Wendy wasn't feeling that because, of course, Deborah coined the Happy Eddie name when she said he was flirting with her, when he definitely wasn't. Okay, then Nneka arrives, and Wendy says, "Nice to meet you." But Nneka has said they've met before and had a conversation, and Wendy was lovely to her. Wendy tells producers she's seen Nneka in passing a few times. Yeah, this isn't going to go well. There's already tension brewing. I can already tell that Nneka's energy is just like Dr. Wendy's energy. I'm up here, I have achieved greatness, I am wonderful, and you need to recognize that and acknowledge what I am. When you have two people with that type of energy in the friend group, I can already see why they would butt heads. Then Ashley has a sit down with Wendy. They seem to want to move forward with being friends and get to know each other better. But Ashley just can't help being messy. She tells Wendy that, oh, she was telling Nneka about her and made it seem like Nneka was talking down about Wendy. What? Ashley brought up some article that was saying Wendy is Osu, and Nneka just explained what it was and that it was abolished. Nneka literally said she doesn't know if Wendy is associated with it. The producers even point out to Ashley that she was being messy. Wendy clears it up and says if she was Osu and shunned, none of the Nigerian community would have come to her daughter's sippancy because they wouldn't want to be associated with them. So now the seed is planted with Wendy that Nneka is coming after her before even entering into the friend group. So she is gearing up for battle. Next week, we also see a scene with Nneka and Robyn where Nneka is talking about Wendy's mother calling her cousin and something about a shrine. It's giving creepy spiritual warfare that could loosely be tied to this Osu rumor. Something doesn't sit right with me on this whole thing. Is the green-eyed bandit side pulling Nneka out as a shield for them against all the backlash they got about going after dark-skinned women on the show? Oh, let's use a dark-skinned Nigerian woman to do our dirty work this season. What do you guys think? I would hate to think that that's what they're doing, but the optics aren't good. And we all know those ladies like to get together and plot and plan storylines before the season. Let me know what your take is in the comments. That's it for this week's episode. Be sure to like the video, share if you care, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch up next week. Bye.